I'm about to expose and maybe even probably ruin day trading for you because I want you to become successful and I want you to start to realize the realities of day trading. Well, how am I going to do that for you? Well, first of all, you have to understand the power of relativity in day trading. All right. A lot of you or a lot of beginners, I'm just going to start giving you guys examples of a lot of things that I see from people that come to me and the way they make mistakes or how I made mistakes in the past, not having a mentor, not having access to the information immediately to avoid the time that it takes to make these mistakes. The only reason that I'm so experienced in the markets is because I've been doing this since 2016, 2017. So I've seen several cycles. I've seen the ups and downs all the way through COVID and 2022 interest rates and understanding how that affected the market, what happened afterwards, what happened when they stopped raising interest rates, all the way up until now where we're lowering interest rates this month, right? And all this information helps me analyze the market and make the decisions because a lot of people feel like day trading is, where you're day trading every single day. And of course, yes, you want to make money, but you have to look for opportunity. How do you make this a successful how do you format it to where you can become successful? And this is going to be raw and unedited. I'm not looking at my phone or looking at my screen. Like, I may look over because my camera's right here, I can see my face, but this is just me being raw with you guys and being real, because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to make you profitable. And a lot of people want to teach you everything on the charts, but they don't want to tell you what it takes mentally to become a profitable day trader, right? A lot of you struggle with psychology and you're learning from people that have probably been trading for 6 months and don't even know the market cycle. They don't understand that monetary policy controls the market, right? People would tell you that, oh, day trading is gambling, right? And if they think day trading is gambling, send them this video so that way they get an understanding of how it is not, right? I'll give you an example of how day trading is gambling and how it really isn't, okay? So the reality is day trading is not gambling. How? Because inflation exists, okay? Everybody says inflation is a bad thing. Yes, inflation is a bad thing if you work a 9 to 5 and you stay there for the rest of your life because everything's going to become more expensive. That's what inflation stands for. But what causes inflation? Obviously, the government has to print money. When there's more money, people are spending more money, right? So, to dumb it down, 2022 or in 2020 after COVID, right? The US printed, don't quote me on this, the numbers may be a little off, but because I'm not looking it up, but 40% of the US's cash was printed in 2020 and 2021. So obviously, everyone's going to be spending money. People were getting stimulus checks, they were buying TVs, cars, whatever with it, right? They were getting stimulus and they were blowing all their money. This is what causes inflation when people start spending a lot of money. All right. So, what happens when they start raising interest rates? How does that affect the market? That doesn't only affect the stock market, but it affects the economy as a whole, right? Because the stock market and every market in general was controlled by monetary policy, economical news, economics, right? This is all basic high school information. So for people to tell you that day trading is gambling, how are you going to explain to them, or how are they going to explain to you that inflation over time is what's causing the market to grow? Just because you're stuck at your 9 to 5 making the same amount doesn't mean that stock market is gambling. You get what I'm saying? The stock market's going to grow over time. The houses are going to go up in price over time. When they start raising interest rates, it makes it harder for you to get loans, you know, whatever. It makes it harder for you to spend money. You can't buy cars, you can't get houses. It makes it harder for you to spend money. That's why they raise interest rates, because we were spending so much money. Cars were selling over ticket price on Facebook Marketplace. That is ridiculous. People had so much money to spend. So to control that, they had to raise interest rates. What happens when you raise interest rates? It's harder for you to spend money. So the market's going to come down. That's what happened in 2022. And they're always going to use news to affect the market. But you have to remember, it's not what the news is, It's when the news is. Because as long as you understand this concept of basic economics, you will know what the market's going to be doing. And it's going to be a lot easier to predict how the market's going to move, right? So understanding that we're raising interest rates, pretend it's early 2022. We're raising interest rates. Oh, okay, it's going to be harder to spend money. What's going to happen? Everything's going to become cheaper because nobody's spending money. Supply and demand, super basic economical stuff, right? This is what controls the market. The people that don't understand this concept are the ones that are telling you day trading is gambling, right? Of course, you go in and you buy 0 DTEs, you put $10,000, you put all of your money. Yeah, you're gonna lose all your money, right? Just as quick as you can make it is as quick as you can lose it. That is gambling, right? When you have no idea what you're doing. But when you're trading momentum, imagine this: 2022, they're raising interest rates, and they're raising interest rates all the way up until October. Okay, 2023, they're no longer raising interest rates, and they say we're done. We're done, 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 done. October of 2023 was the bottom of the market. So when you know this, that the market they literally can't make it go any lower. Why would they? When they're no longer raising interest rates, that's the bottom of the market, right? When you know this information, and then you have companies like Nvidia, like Meta, like Netflix that have huge implied moves on their earnings calls, which way do you think the market's going to move? Up or down? It's definitely not going to go any lower. There's only one way it can go, right? So understanding monetary policy and understanding how the market works will let you and allow you to make decisions that are going to make you a ton of money. This is how Julian Petrulis made $5 million on Nvidia. This is how, when Donald Trump got elected, Umar Ashraf made $10 million in a single month playing momentum. Day trading isn't meant to be traded every single day. You have to look for opportunity, and you have to wait for that momentum. You have to wait for that volume to kick in. That's why I say it doesn't matter what the news is. It's when the news is, right? And as long as you understand the market trend, you will never, ever, ever go on a crazy losing streak, because now you're going to be thinking, why would I be trading the downside when the market's only going to be growing, right? Yes, there will be opportunity for you to trade the downside, but understanding market trend, understanding how the market works, understanding how money works, monetary policy, CPI, PPI, all this monetary, whatever, monetary policy, economics is the number one key that's going to make you profitable. And a lot of people don't even teach you this stuff. They're over here teaching you little PD array, this and that, this strategy, highs and lows, CISD, CIS, this dick. You know what I mean? It's like none of that shit's gonna make you profitable, bro. None of that shit's gonna make you money. Why do you think I bought a house before I bought a supercar? Because interest rates are super high, right? I knew that if I paid my house off cash, I would be fine, because in the future, I'm gonna be able to refinance. My house is gonna go up in price when people are actually able to buy houses. When they start dropping interest rates like this month, I'm gonna collect equity in my house because people are gonna be buying. The house prices are gonna go up. You get what I'm saying? So now I'm able to make more money, not even just in the stock market using this information. I can make money in the housing market. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Are you catching on? Understanding monetary policy is huge. And people still tell you that day trading is gambling. Yeah, if you're, like I said, if you're trading 0 DTEs and you're full porting your entire net worth into one single trade, hoping that's gambling. Like, you're gonna lose everything, right? I would never advise that. But using this information will allow you to make more money, not only in the stock market. So that is my argument there. This is gonna help you with day trading all the way through, right? And if you want to learn more about this, just click the links below. I have a whole bunch of stuff that's going to help you understand monetary policy and help you make the right decisions in the stock market, whether it's your investments or when you buy, the timing. Everything's about timing and understanding how the market works. When the news is, not what the news is what's going to make you rich and successful in life, whatever your version of successful is. A lot of people want Lamborghinis, a lot of people want this, that, da, 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 whatever, right? My version of successful is owning 100 acres and then retiring with my family all around me. I'm a Texan, you know. It's like that's my version of success, right? Miami high rises, whatever that might be your thing, but for me, that's what it is. Okay. And understanding this information is what's going to get me there. I know it's going to take me time. I'm still young. I'm 22. I made my first million at 21. Cool, but I still got 99 more to go, or technically 98. But this not make this about me. This is about what information I've been using to make this amount of money, or the decisions, or how it helped me make the decisions to make that amount of money, right? It was all monetary policy. Day trading isn't gambling. Your psychology when it comes down to risk to reward, your strategy, your rules and stuff, to actual day trading, that's a whole different game. But this is like a whole different level that people really haven't tapped into, because nobody teaches you this. They don't think that it's important, right? They'll sit down and trade a 1 minute time frame instead of looking at the larger picture and seeing where the market's going overall, based off what's selling it off. They really think that Ukraine and Russia was the reason that dropped the entire market. Do you really think, bro? The United States stock market was not affected by Russia and Ukraine. I promise you. I promise you there's no Walmarts in Russia or Ukraine. Maybe, I don't know. But that's not affecting the stock market. That's bullshit, right? Monetary policy, economical news, timing, that's what's going to make you successful. But you can't time things perfectly whenever you don't know what's going on, right? I would highly recommend you guys learn monetary policy. This is going to take your day trading, your investments to a whole new level. That's all it is. Anyways, it's been Decrypt. I'm out of here. Hope you guys actually take this serious. And if you want my help, I mean, the links are below. If you don't, you have all the time in the world to figure it out. Doses.